1500 SAT score. Eat under 1500 calories a day, and then I'll be impressed. If you treat her better than she treats you, she'll get bored. Don't just give her your attention. Make her earn it. She's not your co-pilot. She's your flight attendant.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 392nd edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Monday, January 14th, 2019. It is good to be back. Gentlemen, I took a much-needed vacation last week. Got caught up on a few things I was a little behind on. Worked on my mobile app, as well as my book. Got a lot of sleep, a lot of rest. Sort of allowed myself to kind of decompress, recharge my batteries. Now, admittedly, I'll actually tell you this. Admittedly, it didn't start off that way. I actually put in 6 hours of work on both Saturday and Sunday, and then another 8 on Monday and Tuesday. So I was having a hard time turning my mind off and going into vacation mode. And as a result, I actually started getting headaches. And Devin's, of course, Devin's in my ear talking about, Donovan, you're supposed to be taking the week off and you need rest and this and that. And so I woke up with a headache on Tuesday morning. And for the life of me, I could not get rid of it. I had it all day long, but I was still trying to put in work. But when I woke up on Wednesday morning, again with a headache, my headache still had not gone away. And oh, by the way, I didn't really sleep that well that night. That's when I finally said, okay, I need to step back and really take some time off and not do anything. And that made all the difference in the world. I had a very restful rest of the week. And I topped it off with a weekend trip to Atlantic City to do some gambling, some fine dining. Had wild, crazy hotel sex and all that fun stuff. And by the way, I gambled a total of $15 in Atlantic City. Listen, I lived in Vegas for almost 9 years. I was never much of a gambler. Play the penny slots every once in a while just to pass the time, or if I was running game on a girl, whatever the case may be. But I'm not really much of a gambler. I know a lot of guys, that might come as a surprise to a lot of guys because I'm a big sports fan. Lived in Vegas for almost a decade. Not really into gambling. But I gambled a total of $15 in Atlantic City, and I won $150. Now, I lost 50 of that 150 in about 5 minutes. So I just decided to walk away and quit while I was ahead. And incidentally enough, my winnings ended up paying for dinner that night. So now I'm back. I am recharged, I'm re-energized, and I'm ready to crank out this content for you guys. We are multicasting live to 3 YouTube channels, 3 Facebook pages, and Twitter via Periscope. It is long-term relationship week here at TSR Towers. We are focusing on the main aspects of long-term relationships, red pill style. So this week, we are going to discuss the vetting process. We're going to discuss setting boundaries, training your woman, and why it's necessary. We're going to talk about how to punish and reward your woman in order to discourage bad behavior while encouraging good behavior. So it's going to be a great week of shows, guys. Going to be very informative. Hopefully you guys will get something out of it. So let's go ahead and get started here and take it from the top, which is the vetting process. Now, most women make great short-term girlfriends, which is another name for a fuck buddy or a friend with benefits. Most women within a 2-week fuck fest with you, they are on their best behavior. They answer all your calls. They answer all your texts immediately. You get sex on command. You get treated well and all that fun stuff. Now, the reason why women treat you the best when you first start fucking them is because you're new. You're a new toy. You're a new toy. She doesn't really know much about you, but what she does know is that she likes fucking you and she enjoys your company outside of sex. Now, not knowing much about you actually works to your advantage because her perception of you is dictated by her imagination. If a woman likes you enough, she will start to imagine the things that she doesn't know about you as favorable traits. That's why men who have sort of an air of mystery or mystique about them are always treated much better than men who are an open book, right? You hear guys all the time, oh, I'm an open book. Yeah, this is why women shit on you all the time. Darcy, as a matter of fact, my ex-wife Darcy told me that when we first started dating, she actually said this to me. She says, you have a mystique about you. I was in this podunk country town working in this warehouse. Just a bunch of it was a bunch of trailer park, white trash, and hood niggas, all up in this little podunk country town. And here I come, walking the walk and talking the talk, like I do. And all of a sudden I was different. I was the new shiny thing. Anyway, the longer we were together, the longer Darcy and I were together, the more of that mystique wore off. And eventually, I was just like every other guy that she had been with. This is just part of the process. This is what happens. This is what time does to everyone in this regard. Anyway, we as men, we don't really require much from short-term girlfriends, right? If she looks good, if she sucks good, if she fucks good, then it's all good. We're not really worried about much of anything else because we know that whatever shit she has with her, whatever baggage she has, it's not really going to matter because we're not going to be around long enough to discover it or be affected by it. But long-term relationships are different, very different, obviously. And where most men fuck things up is the vetting process. Most men these days use short-term girlfriend vetting. They use the short-term girlfriend vetting standard as a long-term girlfriend vetting standard. But then they wonder why all of them cheated on him with Billy the cocaine dealer. Well, why is she fucking Dave, the unemployed garage band player? Well, because you use the short-term girlfriend standard and said, oh, she looks good, she sucks good, she fucks good, she answers my calls, wifey material. You moved her in, she started fucking the guy that supplied you with cocaine, and oh, by the way, there's a guy who works at her company by the name of Kevin who's going to be training her personally here within the next few weeks. Now, before we get into the vetting process, first and foremost, a woman has to meet a number of prerequisites, a number of minimum requirements if she wants to be considered for a long-term relationship. Now, there are many, I don't want to say many, but there are more than a few prerequisites for red pill aware men in order to consider a woman for long-term relationship material. But I'm going to give you guys the 8 most important according to your Uncle Donovan. Number 1, I think this goes without saying, she's got to be attractive. If I don't want to fuck you, I'm not interested. Period. I don't care about your education. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care what kind of house you live in. I don't care about any of that stuff. If I don't want to fuck you, I will never be in a relationship with you. You could be the most feminine woman on earth. You could have the kindest disposition. You could be as selfless as you want to be. You could make me your mental point of origin, all that stuff. If I don't get a boner at the thought of you naked, not happening. So that's number 1. Number 2, no kids. Listen, man, I am not trying to take care of another nigga's kids. Fuck that noise. Listen, fuck single mothers, don't date them. Number 3, she cannot be a broke ass bitch. Now, I don't mind spending a little coin on my woman if she earns that privilege and the situation warrants it. But I'm not gonna, and again, that comes way down the line. Just took Devin to Atlantic City. Dude, she's my long-term girlfriend. We live together. She has put in the work. She's paid her dues. She deserves stuff like that. But I'm not about to pay a woman's electric bill or a phone bill if I've been fucking you for 6 months. Not going to happen. A woman doesn't have to be rich. She doesn't have to have a career, but she has got to be able to pay her bills. Because again, if you are entertaining thoughts of a long-term relationship with this woman, then she, at the very least, has to have some sort of financial stability. She doesn't have to have A+ credit. We all know that women are notoriously bad with money. We get all that. Just pay your bills. Don't be asking me to borrow money. And no, I'm not going to pay your fucking electric bill. No broke ass bitches. Number 4, the 4th prerequisite, no feminists. Listen, man, there's no need to elaborate here, guys. Feminists make bad wives and girlfriends as a natural byproduct of their very ideology. I don't think I have to really go into that. Listen, fuck feminists. You can fuck them all you want. Make fuck buddies out of them. Make them friends with benefits. One night stands. Use them for threesomes. Right? Don't make feminists your girlfriends or wives. Don't do that. Number 5, no feminist beliefs. While most women don't identify as feminists, most of them have feminist beliefs, such as the ridiculous notion of gender equality, egalitarian relationships, and of course, the wage gap. These women can sometimes even be worse than feminists. At least feminists are upfront about their fucked up mindsets. A lot of these girls say, well, I'm not a feminist, but they have feminist beliefs, and a lot of them are more vehement than the very feminists themselves. Number 6, honesty. Listen, guys, a woman who cannot be trusted is a woman who will make a bad wife and mother. And again, I think that goes without saying, but there are so many guys out here who say, well, my girlfriend or wife lied to me this one time about this one small, which may have been a big thing. I'm going to keep her around. No. If you can't, listen, you don't have to trust a woman to love a woman. You can trust a woman. And when I say trust, I mean, you don't have to trust that she's never going to go off and fuck someone. These are two different kinds of trust. Listen, man, if your value goes down and if your value goes down as a man, if you forget how to keep her in line, if you're not fucking her as much, if you lost your job, if your value goes down, she's going to find someone to replace you with who has equal or greater value than she does. That's how that goes. That's not the honesty I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, can you believe what a woman says to you when she talks to you? Can you straight up believe her when she tells you things about her day? There's some guys who have wives and girlfriends who lie about shit they have no need to lie about. Oh, I went to Applebee's for lunch. You find out she went to Chick-fil-A. What the fuck are you lying about where you went lunch for? Right? The very tool that women use to cheat and engage, of course, in nefarious behavior is lying. More women lie than women who do not. This is an immutable fact. I don't give a fuck, dude. You as a woman, oh my God, that's not even close to true, sweetheart. You just told yourself a lie right there. Case closed. Now, spotting a lying female is always difficult at first, simply because you don't really know her that well. But women have a way of telling on themselves through a concept in the manosphere that we like to call trickle truth. And I'll give you guys a quick example here. Let's say that a girl tells you that she and her boyfriend broke up because he was physically abusive and cheated on her. Okay, you give her the benefit of the doubt because A, you weren't there, so you don't really know. B, you're giving her the benefit of the doubt, which, of course, is a huge mistake in and of itself. Now, if what she says is true about the abuse and the cheating, we'll never talk about it. But if it's not, she will let the truth slip out about parts of their relationship that contradicts what she told you. She might slip up and tell you that he was sweet, or that he would never lay a hand on her, or something to that effect, right? Well, if he's sweet and would never lay a hand on you, where did all this infidelity and abuse come from? You get the picture. If you catch her in even one lie, guys, one lie, she is a liar and cannot be trusted. Honest women are honest. Honest women, I'll put it to you this way. Honest women are women who are honest even when they don't want to be, right? Unfortunately, most women take the easy road and just lie. But if you can find a woman who is honest to a fault, you might have yourself a candidate. Not a keeper, but a candidate. Number 7. The number 7 prerequisite for a red pill relationship is willing transparency. Now, this is a big one. I have often discussed that Devin has a GPS monitor on her phone and all of her devices. She has a keylogger on all of her phones and devices. All of that allows me to see every single keystroke, as well as software that notifies me when she leaves or arrives at any location in our city, depending, including where we live, right? Tells me when she gets to work, tells me when she gets to certain stores. Now, It should also go without saying that she doesn't have a lock on her phone, and she allows me to go through her phone whenever I damn well please. I also made her delete all social media accounts, and she happily obliged. Now, the reason she does this is because she wants to be completely transparent. She knows who I am. She knows about my experiences. She knew I was Donovan Sharpe, right? She knows that I can see things that most men cannot, or at least I acknowledge that I see things that most men cannot. Okay? She wants me to be 100% certain that she is not up to anything suspicious. Shout out to Freelance Ronan with the $5 contribution. Says, welcome back. TSR in full effect. You guys can also contribute via the Streamlabs link, streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. I'm going to post that in the link in the chat here in a second. I can't call it the Bob and Sacramento contribution link because he doesn't want me to continue to blow sunshine up his ass. Anyway, 99.9% of cheating happens on a woman's phone. Facebook, Tinder, WhatsApp, you name it, girls use it to fuck other dudes. My girlfriend has forfeited all of her autonomy to become completely transparent, meaning she has no issue with me knowing exactly what she does on her phone. This is one of the reasons I made Devin my girlfriend. Now, requiring a keylogger and GPS tracking on your woman's device is next level game. I require it of Devin because I'm Donovan Sharpe and I've been in the game for almost a decade. But for men out there who aren't quite as experienced, it would be unwise to attempt something that you're not really ready to attempt. There's a lot that goes into something like this, requiring this particular woman, and most guys just aren't ready for this, and that's okay. Not requiring your woman to put a keylogger and or a GPS tracker on her phone doesn't mean you can't keep her in line. But what you do need to require, at the very least, is for her to hand you her phone at any and all times you ask her to. If you are unable to make this requirement of a woman who wants to be in a long-term relationship with you, then you are not ready to be the man she wants and needs, which is a man who keeps her in line and protects her from herself even if she doesn't like the way that you do it. Women want good relationships, but they don't want to pay the good relationship price. Well, guess what? Men are guilty of this too. If you tell me, well, Donovan, there's no need for me to look at her phone, so I don't make her show it to me, that just means you're afraid of your woman. Period. Women watching this, they might say things like, well, if you're secure in your masculinity and relationship, you wouldn't have to look at her phone. To which I would respond, well, that's exactly what cheating women tell their boyfriends and husbands when they suspect your weekend workshops with Kevin and Sales have nothing to do with work. Speaking of which, and staying in the same lane here while going a little bit off topic, a lot of guys lately have asked me, Donovan, I told my girl that she needs to stop talking to her exes, or that girls' night out is not allowed, or whatever requirement they tell their women, and she tells me, okay, fine, but you have to do the same. What should I do in this situation? Well, first off, if she requires you to do what you've required of her, there's nothing you can do because it's already too late. If a woman believes, if she thinks that she can make the same requirements of you that you have made of her, you either A, didn't set boundaries properly, which, by the way, we're going to talk about Wednesday. B, you didn't set the tone for the relationship by establishing dominance and leadership from the start. C, she doesn't think it's worth it, which means your value isn't high enough for her to want to be in a committed relationship with you. Or worst of all, D, she didn't vocalize her desire for a relationship with you. Gentlemen, you cannot make requirements of a woman who has not verbalized the desire to be in an exclusive relationship with you. It can't be done. And a lot of guys make this mistake thinking the woman will just fall in because she fucks him all the time and she says she really likes him. Nah, bruh. It takes a little more than blowjobs and lip service, pun intended on both ends, to assume a woman wants to be with you exclusively. She's got to say it. Donovan, I want to be in an exclusive relationship with you. Too many dudes out here trying to use next level game. Too many dudes are out here trying to use next level game they have no experience with on women who have not expressed the desire to be in a relationship. So if she hits you with, well, if I have to do it, then so do you. This means you fucked up somewhere along the way, and more often than not, it's because she doesn't want to be your girl, which means you ain't doing it right. And as a side note, girls will also pull this if I have to do it, then so do you argument if you made her your girlfriend too soon. She doesn't value your commitment because you didn't make her work for it. So of course she's going to push back when you try to lay down certain needings. That's just basic math. Number 8, the 8th prerequisite to be a candidate for a long-term relationship with a man with red pill awareness: accountability. Nothing pisses me off more than a woman who makes excuses. Yes, when men make excuses, that pisses me off too. But when women do it, it gets me really pissed off. Well, that's sexist. Yes, it is. Moving right along. I'm fat because I have a thyroid condition. No, you're fat because you eat crap and you don't exercise. I got fired because my boss is an asshole. No, you got fired because you sucked at your job and you're always late. It's always something with these bitches. And worse yet, women who are the women who make excuses for their bad behavior. I cheated because he was neglecting my needs. No, you cheated because you're a slut and you needed a reason to be a slut. I don't cook for him because I don't have ingredients for a meal. No, you don't cook for him because you're lazy and you can't cook. I don't dress up for him because I'm too tired. No, you don't dress up for him because, again, you are lazy. A woman who isn't accountable for her bad behavior is a woman who will never change for the better. We don't expect women to be perfect, but we expect women to be better. And in order to be better, one has to be accountable for their actions so that they can course correct and make the proper adjustments. When you call a woman out on her bad behavior, she should acknowledge her mistake, own it, take her lumps, and tell you she'll be better. End of stories. Yes, she's going to defend herself at times, which is a natural human response. Okay, fine. But more often than not, a woman who has the potential to be in a long-term relationship of consequence with a man with red pill awareness is going to say, hey, you know what? I fucked up. I'll try to be, I can't make promises, but I'm going to try to be better. But if you're dealing with a woman who always chirps back when you get on her about shit she shouldn't be doing, she's simply not going to make the changes necessary to increase her value to you as your woman. So when and if you do find a woman who meets all of these prerequisites, and trust me when I tell you this is not going to be easy, but if you do, she might have the potential to be considered for a possible relationship outside of sex. But keep this in mind, guys. Just because a woman meets these prerequisites doesn't mean she's long-term relationship material. Your work isn't close to being finished here because now you have to vet her. And I want to be perfectly clear when I say this. This is going to take some time. It's going to take a long time, as in at least 6 months. Oh my God, Donovan, 6 months is a long time. Yeah. Yes, it is. But you want to know what else is a long time? 18 years. As in 18 years of child support, you'll be paying for a kid who may or may not be yours because you foolishly believed that Dave, the garage band player, who may or may not be sleeping in a car that may or may not be his, was friend-zoned by your girl because you didn't take the time to vet her properly. Gentlemen, this ain't fast food advice, man. This ain't McDonald's. This ain't Burger King. This isn't advice for fucking sluts. This ain't Slut Week. If you're looking for that, go back and find the Slut Week archive. It was the week of Thanksgiving. Nah, bruh, this is 3-course meal advice. This is about taking the time to vet a woman so she doesn't turn your life upside down. And if you're too lazy to take the time, then maybe a long-term relationship isn't for you. And if that's the case, cool. Man, listen, fuck sluts until you die. Fuck sluts until your dick falls off. You're getting no hate from me. I understand. But telling me that 6 months or more is too long to vet a woman is like telling me that spending at least 5 days a week in the gym and eating clean is too much trouble to get into the best shape of your life. No, you're lazy. You want all the benefits without any of the cost, and that is a female mindset. So if you don't think that vetting a woman is worth the trouble, you are either lazy or not ready for a long-term relationship. Either way, this week is definitely not for you. My opening rant is brought to you by Tactical Soap. Tactical Soap is a natural pheromone soap that enhances alpha status, masculinity, attractiveness, and charisma. Tactical soaps are formulated with bio-identical pheromone blends designed to enhance the alpha male attitudes that women love and men respect. You can buy Tactical Soap through my affiliate link on donovansharpe.com, and be sure to use the promo code Donovan to get an additional 10% off. If you have a question or a comment about how to properly vet a woman for a long-term relationship, give me a call. 914-205-5356. See you in Vegas. I see you on the line. I'm going to get to you in just a second. If you have an unrelated question about girls, game, finance, fitness, or anything else that pertains to increasing your value and agency as a man, book a one-on-one consult on donovansharpe.com/consults. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook and Twitter. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe on both platforms. I am no longer on Instagram. I deleted my account. So Facebook and Twitter are the only social media platforms I am on at the moment. And of course, that could change at any time for any reason as a result of my decision or the decision of these platforms. To get access to all of my content, go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. There you will find the entire archive of all complete episodes of TSR Live, both audio and video, so you can listen on the go or watch at your leisure. Now, you can watch my show Monday through Thursday afternoons at 5 Eastern, but if you want to be able to rewatch or re-listen to the episodes in their entirety, less than 17 cents a day is all it takes. Guys, we all know that I could be shut down and deplatformed at any time. Those of you who have followed me for any extended period of time know that last year alone, I lost 2 YouTube channels, a Facebook page, and a Twitter account, and I would not be surprised if I lost my Patreon at some point in the not-too-distant future. Now, none of this is going to stop me from doing what I do, all right? This fucking train is staying on the goddamn tracks regardless, but it could stop you from getting access to my content. The only way to ensure that you never miss out on my content is to subscribe to my email list. Go to donovansharpe.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, plug in your email, and you're good to go. It takes literally 1.45 seconds. I timed it myself. So if somebody snaps their fingers and I get banned everywhere, you will always know when and where to find me. If you like what you hear and you get something out of my show, you can contribute to the show via my Streamlabs link, www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe1, www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe, and the number 1. YouTube wisely takes 30% off the top on Super Chats. So if you want 100% of your contribution to come directly to the show, the Streamlabs link is the best way to do it. Shout out to King Nick with the $12.30. To watch or listen to the rest of this episode, go to donovansharpe.com. Thanks for watching.